What's going on, social media, family, and friends? Hope everybody's having a really, really good day. If you're not, we're going to change your mood because I got a really good word from the Lord that is going to help a whole lot of people. And also, this word is going to be a stabilizing force for a lot of people who are going through an uncertain time. So we were having an extended time of prayer and up here at the Roar Kingdom Center, and I was just in the middle of prayer, and I heard one word. I heard the word settle, and so I just was sitting there and just I knew there was more to it. Didn't let my mind dive into the word settle too much because I don't settle for a whole lot, and so I just kind of kept there and just praying into that word, and then the Lord spoke settlement. And right then, as I started to pray in the Spirit, I just saw like a huge, vast geographical location. And just real quick, I saw a vision of somebody coming into the geographical location. This looked like frontier days or something. And a few families came in and they found a flat piece of land and they started like making a house. Like they would like real quick, like go out and you could see just in this real quick vision of them getting like natural materials, logs, and building a house, and then cultivating a garden and taking care of the land, building some pens for their livestock. And then all of a sudden, I just kept praying into the settlement, It didn't think a whole lot about it, was just receiving from the Lord. And then all of a sudden, I just kept feeling in my spirit the word build, build, build. And then as I went on in prayer, and I just said, Lord, settlement, build. And the Lord just started laying things out that made so much sense to me. And hopefully this will bring some clarity to your life. The Lord was saying the problem is a lot of people want to be successful in life, business. They want to be successful in marriage. They want to be successful mostly with their walk with the Lord. But what happens a lot of times is people are not willing to work in the area that God has placed them. Well, what do you need to do? You need to settle. Settle what? Settle down. Create a settlement is when pioneers would come into a region, they would look at all of the natural resources. They would like to be by a lake or a stream. They would like to make sure there was plenty of woods around for, things to kill and eat, but also to produce firewood and to build things, to build pens for their livestock. Just like this whole vision, a settlement, and the Lord said build. And the problem is a lot of people, they never take roots anywhere. They never let their roots run deep. They're not a part of a church long enough to actually settle in. They're not part of a business long enough to settle in and get a retirement. They're not willing to let their roots run deep anywhere. They're always moving from place to place to place. And the reason I think the word settlement is so important, because if someone comes in to cultivate the land, to create a garden, to build pens for their livestock, to build a house, they're planning on staying there a while. And what's important about this word from the Lord is what God is saying to you and I. Find out what you're called to do and throw your life into it. Not 6 months, not a year, but throw your life into it. Now, there's a lot of things in life change, but so many people are always looking for the next greatest, the next this, the next that, and they're always moving around that they never settle. I know over the past 3 years, as I've been seeking the Lord for the next upcoming year, the Lord said, keep doing what you're doing. My wife and I, we have a church. We're health coaches. I'm a YouTuber. We have, an apostolic network. I'm doing the same thing year after year after year. So I'm settling into my calling. I'm building something. And all of these things I've been working at for a while. So what you need to understand is the reason things aren't working for you a lot of times is because whenever a hardship comes, you run. You try to do something else. Well, let's think about the early settlers when they came in. They had summer, they had fall, they had winter, then they had spring. Things are different in every season, but they did not leave the place where they have been working, and it's just like you reap what you sow. They sow into a harvest and they reap a harvest. And so you just need to really understand this word, that some of you need to settle in your heart, that you need to settle down in something. I remember I was talking to a gentleman one time. He was in his 70s, and he said, I have no retirement. I've worked all my life, but I have no retirement. And I just stopped and said, sir, I don't mean to be rude, but the reason you have no retirement is it is your own fault. You've been working, you're telling me, for 52 years. You've never stayed anywhere long enough to get a retirement, to get a pension. And, when he was younger, they didn't have a whole lot of mutual funds and things like that. They were kind of, brand new, and he didn't invest in stocks or anything. So he didn't have any money. What we have to learn is how to settle into things, settle in to what the Lord has for us. And when we have that, we got to learn how to build. This is a building season, friends. This is a time to build and do everything that God has called us to. So I hope this word makes some sense to some people. If it does, just in the comment box, just write settlement. And I'm going to try to go through, and as many people as I see that are making comments, I'm just going to pray for you, because this is a time and a season that God is wanting to prosper people. And if you want to receive a harvest, you first got to have time of seed. Think about a natural garden. I remember when my granddad would come to my house every year and help me build a garden when I was little. He would come in there with his tiller, and he would say, man, it's hard ground, but we're going to till it up. It's hard ground. I was like 5, 6 years old trying to run that little tiller. And you tilled up the ground. I said, is it time to plant the seeds? He goes, not yet. Is it time to plant the seeds? No, we got some weeds in the garden. Got to get all the weeds out. Got to get all the grass out. And then he would spray what he sprayed, and then he wouldn't even plant seed the first day. I'm like, when are we going to plant seed? I'm ready for a harvest. We ain't planted seed. But I got the ground ready, and it was a process. I'm telling you, when God plants you somewhere, it's a process. And, like whenever we planted the seed and the tomato plants and the fruit was growing, the vegetables were growing, if there were weeds in there, man, I went in there and I de-weeded. I remember a few times rabbits would try to come in. I saw some snakes in there. We ran them off. We were protecting our harvest. Some people will not fight and protect for what God has given them. A settlement. When God gives you a geographical location, you got to fight for that thing in the spirit. Whatever God has given you, settle in your heart that you're going to fight for it. So I hope this video helped you today. It's just something very encouraging I got from the Lord in prayer. And a lot of times people aren't willing to fight for the things that God has given them. So they are always running to something else, but they never put in the work to build anything on their own. So hope this helped, encouraged you, and I hope you guys have a blessed day.